Hey guys, welcome back to Ranger Survival and Fieldcraft. I'm Andrew. Now what I have for you today is a video on our Go Pouch or our Last Ditch Survival Kit. Stand by. Now, before we get into our pouch, it is assumed that the survivor, being a service member, is going to have a fixed blade knife or a survival knife, as well as a multi-tool, a pocket knife or a folding knife on their person, as well as a sharpening stone for keeping those tools honed. And this is an idea taken from a Marine Corps survival manual that I picked up a while ago, but this is also true for any service member. They should have these items in their pockets, or like I was told in Ranger School by one of my Ranger instructors, was to have a knife, a way to start fire, and a snack in my pocket because we survive out of our pockets. And so we need to have these basic tools on our person for survival should we find ourselves or anticipate being in some sort of isolated situation ready to survive. Let's take a look at this pouch. This is a Spec Ops brand pouch. It's a utility pouch or a frontal assault pouch, and it's designed to go on the front of a plate carrier closest to the head so you can look down, reach inside the pouch, and grab whatever items you may need for urban operations or for fieldcraft. But it's a perfect pouch because we can take it off our kit or take it off a rucksack or a backpack and put it in our cargo pocket and grab it as a go pouch or a last-ditch survival kit, especially for military operations, because we can fit so many things inside to enable us to survive. It is lightweight, portable, and we can grab and go. Now, all the items inside of this pouch, inside of this kit, are items that are either issued through the military or can be picked up through medical sources or can be picked up at the PX or Post Exchange, the shop it on post, or clothing and sales. So we have a lot of different items we can grab. That first thing on top are going to be water tablets to use to purify water. We can use this in conjunction with our canteen or a 2-quart canteen or Camelback, or even just our drink bag, and put tablets in that bag of water, purify it, and make it ready to drink. A few items right on top of our pouch are going to be signaling items. That first one being a headlamp. We can take that headlamp out, put it on so we can see if we happen to be in an isolated situation at nighttime, but we can use it as a signal as well. It has all the same functions as a larger, more traditional headlamp, but this is a small emergency headlamp. It has high beam, low beam for white, it has a red lens flashlight, and it has strobe settings for both white and red lens, so we can use this as a passive signal at nighttime. That next item is going to be a Fox 40 P-less whistle, so it's not going to have the P inside, but it functions just the same. We can use it as an auditory signal, so we have visual and auditory signals, both passive and active. And then that last thing is going to be a IR or infrared chem light attached with some 550 cord, so we can use it as a buzz saw. We can use this during hours of limited visibility, so search and rescue that might be using night vision can see us down on the ground. We can use it as a buzz saw, crack it, and start spinning it with that 550 cord fully extended to create a very powerful visual signal. Right behind our signaling devices and our water tablets is just a Whirl-Pack bag or a water container, 32-ounce volume, so we can fill it up, treat it with our water purification tablets, and get a drink and stay hydrated in survival. Next is camo sticks. We have two different camo sticks, a green and a brown color, light color and dark color, to soften the features of our face and begin camouflaging ourselves to blend into our environment. One of the last steps in the first series of steps in immediate actions and responding to a survival scenario, especially for the purposes of evasion, is applying personal camouflage and blending in to the environment to avoid detection. But our face paint also doubles as a flame extender, so we have a multi-purpose tool with our face paint. We can find some camo and we can find tinder sources, and because there's petrolatum and wax in that face paint, we can apply it to cotton and then use it as a flame extender to keep that tinder going and get a survival fire started. They had Old Faithful, the Commando wire saw. Now, the Commando wire saw is a great tool because it's small, portable, and fits inside our go pouch. And it will do the work as long as you know how to use it and use it properly. What we've done here is taken 550 cord and made handholds or toggles to hold that wire at the end so we can use it in a toggle sawing motion, but we can also take it and fit it into a bent sapling to create just a Commando bow saw and use it to harvest material off the landscape for shelter or firecraft. As long as we know how to use it properly, it will do the work. Now we have a fixed blade knife and a multi-tool on our person, or some sort of folding knife, or our field basic kit that are going to go in our pockets. A knife, a way to start fire, and a snack. But we should also have smaller tools inside of our go pouch in case we lose those tools that are on our person, or we drop them, or if we need a special tool for finer materials or finer crafting or carving or for processing game. And we can use the Leatherman squirt as a tool for that purpose. The squirt is issued in Air Force survival kits as well as some Navy survival kits. We can pick one of these up at the shopette and then add it to our kit. It is a great little tool to have because in a pinch, we can use it for finer materials, use it for finer crafting, and use it for our kit, especially with snare wire to set up snares and make tools for going after game. But it is a great little piece of kit to have inside of our Go kit or our Last Ditch Survival kit. Next, we have a series of cordages, cravats, and tools. We have cordage, or two different types of cordage, type 1 and type 2 550 cord, a small hank of each. The larger 550 cord is about a hank of 6 feet or so, and then the thinner version of that, or the smaller diameter cordage, is going to be approximately 20 feet, and we can use this for a variety of things. Everything cordage can be used for. Next, we have a cravat. A cravat is one of our medical aid devices inside of our kit, as well as camouflage. We can put it over our head for camo or use it for medical aid. And then next we have tape, just a small roll or fold of 100-mile-an-hour tape. All of these items we can get from the shopette or get from supply and place in our kit, and we can use for everything that cordage, cravats, and cotton as well as tape can be used for. For our shelter devices, we just have a casualty blanket. In the military, we call it a casualty blanket, not a Mylar space blanket, but we have just this casualty blanket, Mylar, that we can use for a makeshift shelter or as a warming blanket. And then we have, for fire starting, one tool is a ferro rod. This is the Scout ferro rod. To compare it with a larger typical ferro rod, you can tell it is a lot smaller, but it will still do the same job. Now, to go along with that ferro rod and that Mylar blanket to keep us warm, we have additional fire starting items in the small plastic bag. That first item is going to be a book of matches. That book of matches is something we can get out of an MRE. Everybody knows these matches are highly unreliable, and even though they say they protect from damp conditions, as soon as they get wet, they will go bad and they will not work. But I enlisted first when I joined the military, and I spent 6 years enlisted, and I would grab these matches out of my MREs because I was a poor private and would save them in my kit for fire starting. But we can take these matches and actually waterproof them by using a small candle or finding wax or other materials and coating the matches in that wax to make them waterproof or more water resistant than they already are, and save them and put them in our kit so we at least have waterproof matches that are protected from the elements to use to attempt to get a fire going in a survival situation. And then with those matches inside that small bag, we're going to have an aviator spark light. This is just basically the top of a lighter without the butane. It'll kick out the same sparks. It has the same wheel function and flint function as a normal lighter. It will kick out those sparks. We can use it in conjunction with tinder to get a fire going and fluff up that tinder, and then use that spark light to ignite the tinder, and it will burn for several minutes to get a fire going. So I was a winter ranger. I went through ranger school during the winter months, and everybody knows it's very cold. One thing they issued us were Trioxane bars, especially during mountain phase. In years past, there are students that go through ranger school and become hypothermic and die of their injuries just because of the nature of the school and exposure to the elements. And so having these Trioxane bars was a way to get a fire going very quickly out in the field if we needed to warm ourselves up. But this makes great tinder as well. We can use it to get a fire going, and we can also use it to boil some water or get some water hot or cook food to get something warm inside our bellies. We can take that Trioxane bar, break it in half inside the package, and then cut it open. Take out the half, place it in our stove, and it will light very easily with some sort of ignition source. And then we just let it burn, place our canteen cup over top with our water, and then we can let it cook and do its thing, bring that water to a boil or get it hot enough to make a hot drink so we can stay warm and hydrated out in the elements. Next, we have a signaling mirror. We can use that mirror with the sun to reflect the sun's rays on the horizon, or flash search and rescue aircraft to gain their attention, alert them that we are in a survival scenario and require assistance or rescue. It's a great signal to have. One thing I recommend is that on the back of that signal, we find a sticky adhesive striker for your matches and just place it on the back, one extra striker source ready to go in case we lose our others. And then on top of that, we have a compass for basic cardinal direction finding and land navigation. Visual signaling panel for the military is going to fold down into an envelope that is concealed behind OD green. And we have that top portion right here that we've cut away from that VS17 panel. We have orange on the underside, and so if we take that panel, cut away the green portion, then fold it, we have a concealed signal that we can pull out and flash search and rescue aircraft using it as a signal. The last few items almost got stuck in our pouch, but we have, first off, wire for snares and for repair or improvisation. That wire is actually from a trip wire set for a ground sensor or alert sensor, and we can just take that wire out of that set, roll it off the spool, and then wrap it up and fit it inside of our kit. And it's great wire, similar to picture hanging wire in diameter. And then next we have two different tape sachets. I actually learned this in the back of one of the evasion field manuals. We can take items and then place them inside of tape sachets and place them in our pockets or hide them in our person to grab as we need for survival. And they're small kits we can carry with us, very lightweight and portable. That first one is going to be a fishing kit. We just took fishing line, wrapped it around a razor, placed it inside with some hooks and swivels, and we have a fishing kit. And that next one is a sewing kit. Same thing, thread around the razor, grab some needles and place them in there with some safety pins, close the tape compartment up, and we have a little sachet ready to go, straight from the manual. They can place in our pockets or inside of our go kit, ready for survival. Alright guys, that does it for this video. A very down and dirty short video today on a go pouch or a last ditch survival kit. Military setup. All of these items were procured either from military supply, issued items from the shop at, post exchange, or from clothing and sales. So things we can actually throw in our kit and carry with us as a last ditch kit. So I hope you liked this video. If you did like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment in the comment section. I always appreciate your feedback. I want to thank you guys for everything you do for me, for this channel, for your likes, your views, your subscriptions, your comments, your feedback, and your shares. And I'll be back with another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks.